Hello and welcome back. To all Canadians that are watching this, happy Thanksgiving. I want to address two things in this video. One, I did not tell you the reason why the vaccines, what's the purpose of them. I will address that in a minute. But first, I want to address something really important, because some viewers are very not happy. They were expecting that I am going to stand in front of a camera and say plainly that the vaccines are bad, you shouldn't be using them, you shouldn't be taking them, natural medicine is better, and so on. I cannot do that. I already disclosed to you that I am a herbalist, and for me, for my needs, I employ that medicine. However, for you, I cannot and will never do that to say which is better. And listen very carefully, because this world is really screwed up, and because of that, people are being conditioned to rely on the opinion of other people, and or they rely on decision making on other people. They want someone else to make the decision for them. This is a really bad idea. This creates dependencies. You are no longer a person which is having their own opinion. You are having your own decision making. You are relying on somebody else, and you are going to be doing everything else to avoid to make the decision for yourself and your family. Therefore, remember that I will never, ever say one way or the other, ever. I can give you a suggestion. I can give you an idea what the options are, but the decision is up to you. Look around you. Look at Twitter, look at Facebook, look on Google and YouTube and so on. How much censorship is going there? Do you think that YouTube or Facebook cares what you are posting? They don't give a rat's ass. They only want one thing: clicks, viewers, and money. Nothing else. Then who is doing that? Of course, there are people which are having backdoor clearance that are doing that. Where they are coming from? What I just said. Because long time ago, someone decided that he or she is going to make decisions for others. That develops a specific character. That character, the whole thing is about human psychology. That character that was developed long time ago was convinced that they need to do that for people, and then they brought to the world others. They trained them, they convinced them that they need to be the policymakers, they need to be the policemen of the world, what people are allowed to see, what they are allowed to say, what they are allowed to view, to what their thoughts should be. So therefore, I am telling you right now in front of everyone, I know that some of you are disappointed that I did not say that. And I think that explanation that I just gave you is very short. Probably requires a little bit longer explanation how this whole mechanic works. But I'm not going to do that. It's not worth it. It's just waste of time. We are at the time right now that is very important for you to understand that any decision about your health, your well-being, depends on you. The sooner you start making those decisions, the better. And I am not going to put a band-aid over that so you can feel comfortable. Oh, the guy said this, so yeah, I am going to follow that advice or idea. No, you are the one who has to 100% to make that decision. And I said again, and I will repeat that. For me, I study alternative medicine for a very long time. And I do employ that. And I will employ that as long as I can. I am not afraid that someone, for some reason, would try to force something. They can't, but they will try. You can see on media how much the scare tactics are going. But it's not coming from the media. It's coming from the people that were conditioned to behave that way. Those are the people that they were brought in the environment where they developed this urge that they must do what they do. And this is coming to an end because it's time for each individual to make decision on their own. And I am repeating this almost every video. Form groups. Gather around people that have the same idea, the same values, the same ideology, so you feel comfortable with them sharing your thoughts about what is right or what is wrong. Because the idea of something being right and wrong is going to go with you for a very long time, even though there is no such thing like right and wrong. But people feel comfortable when they have some kind of guidepost that direction is a good direction, it's the right way. And that way is not good, it's a bad idea, it's the wrong way. It just kind of gives you a direction in life, but you should explore both ways, because that way you understand better who you are. And now let me explain the reason why those vaccines were developed. They were actually developed a long time ago. This is not something that just happened, that the labs within 1 year without any testing and data or whatever. They just decided, okay, let's make it, let's see what will happen. That is incorrect. That was already for a really long time. And it was the trials were done in secrecy because, as I already mentioned in my video, that people are not very happy with certain approach, with certain ways of dealing with that. So therefore, all those trials, the preparation of the medications or the vaccines were kept out of public view. And as I said, there are two brothers. There is always one which is an idiot and the other one which is really smart, and they both cannot exist without each other. It's going to be like that. So when people are saying that, let's say, secret societies are bad, they are correct to a degree, but the good brother in that needs that bad brother to see how they are behaving, how they are responding, how this whole thing is unfolding, what to expect. So that marriage, those twins, they always going to be together. Same thing is with right now with this whole thing. The vaccines were developed because, as you know from science, if you can look into the scientific papers, the scientific findings, that every time there is an electromagnetic excursion, then there is outbreak of diseases, either viral infections or bacterial infections. You remember from history, there were the Egyptian plagues, there was the bubonic plague that killed millions of people. In each case, there are usually millions of people dying. So when scientists were looking at all those parts, when they were digging out the remains, the fossils, they were looking at key components. What is the triggering mechanism causing those outbreaks? And it was always the magnetic excursion. It was always the sun that was delivering either there was the magnetic field of the earth was dropping, and or there was increased cosmic rays present. So we are in the process that polar shift is happening right now. The magnetic poles are on the move. The magnetic field is already probably more than 25% lower than it should be, and we are exposed to more cosmic rays. Therefore, the folks in the biotech industry, they already understand that there is something going to happen. Therefore, that vaccine is sort of kind of developed to counter that. But are we going to be effective? This is all fear-driven, because what they want to do is prevent as many lives, to save as many lives as possible. This is counterproductive, because when there is a change in those magnetic outbursts, and the field is changing, and there is a cosmic rays present, that's indication of change, where people are moving into looking for different experience, and this is accommodated in such a way. So on one hand, that might not work, because if this part works, then the universe is going to deliver something else to make sure that all the people that decided already to move to different conditions, they are going to go there. The other aspect of that is that the folks that designed this, they want the people not to have pains and suffering, because if you do understand what bubonic plague is, it's a swelling of the lymph nodes, and some of those lymph nodes, they can be size of a freaking orange. This is the most painful condition. This is like someone kicks you in the groin, except the pain lasts for weeks. You don't want that. Therefore, this is happening to see if that is going to counter this whole thing, or outbreak of different diseases. And the biggest giveaway for you should be, who are thinking, that information sheet which is saying clearly that this vaccine does not guarantee protection from being infected with COVID, and or is not guaranteeing any immunity to that, and does not guarantee that you are not going to be reinfected after that. So you should understand that this vaccine is designed for something else, and then I explain all the elements that goes with it. There is no conspiracy theory here, or some imagination. This is all science. Those are all facts that you can look into on your own and draw your own conclusion. Because as I said, this is not that I am some kind of lazy guy that doesn't want to give you links here, links there, and give you the scientific or behind the scene really secretive findings and laboratory tests or reports, so you can have some kind of proof. Because as I already explained on the beginning of this video, that would be a big no-no. You need to stop being dependent on others. It's time to stand up for yourself. In closing, it is probably really hard on some of you that what's coming from me, it's almost pushing away, but this channel is not about fixing problems for you. It's just giving you a glimpse, a view inside of something that is misunderstood for a very long time, to give you an idea or convince you that it's finally time to take the power which belongs always to you, that you are the one who is in charge of everything else. If you keep focusing on negative stuff about vaccines, about the conspiracies or the restrictions, that's what you are going to be getting more and more of. But when you start being more focused on getting organized with people that have the same values, the same ideas, they share the same passion, then you will see that the world is a bit different. Then you will find purpose. You will feel really comfortable helping others. You will feel as a contributor to something. And at the same time, you are going to be much healthier, much happier. And anything that the nature is going to throw at you, you are going to be equipped better to deal with that. So that's it. I am going to end this video here. So again, if you like it, please subscribe. Please check the notification bell. And of course, like this video. The next one, which is I am start working right away after this one, is about what Tanner brought to my attention, and is going to be about the spirituality and the whole polar reversal, how this whole thing tie out. Alright, so thank you and see you in next video.